Good morning. It's Brewing Happiness. It's Friday. It's been a short and crazy week after our long and crazy vacation last week. So this feels like actually the end of wrapping up vacation week. This week has been a little discombobulated. Just the re-entering everyday life has been a challenge, and that's that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So here we are in Freedom Friday, freedom where I don't wear any makeup, I don't have a script, I do have a topic because I have a topic relative to myself today, but it's really just stream of consciousness, me just thinking, just out loud, what comes out. I don't know. Didn't want to get up this morning. I have that's what we're going to talk about this morning, is morning routines a little bit and what we do in the morning to get up and get our day going. I have a really solid morning routine. I've been doing this show since April the 8th, and it is now October the 15th. And so I have developed a very nice habit. I get up at 5:30, I have a shower, I fix my coffee, I study my notes, I get my room ready. Pretty soon at 7 o'clock I turn on, and there we go. Usually the day before, I spend some time planning the show, doing a little research, deciding, writing out my outline. Anyway, Fridays, I have started Freedom Friday, where I got a little too scripted. I wanted to kind of get away from that. So Fridays, I just kind of free ball it, kind of do what I want. Just kind of say what I want, stream of consciousness, no script, just open my mouth and see what comes out, which has worked pretty well because I've started each Friday with at least something to say, right? But this morning, I did not want to get out of bed. Just simply did not. The alarm went off, and I turned it off and went back to sleep. Kept counting the minutes of how much time I had and what I could do and how much time, what I could skip. And ended up getting up very late, rushing around to be here on time. So now, I was terrible at getting up in the morning when I was a kid. I don't know about you, but I don't know if it said something about my relationship with school or my life. I don't know, but I never got up on time. My dad would call me over and over. He'd come down the hall. He'd get mad. I'd go to the bathroom. I'd sleep in the bathroom. I'd lay my head on the sink next to the toilet and just sleep in there I could squeeze an extra 5 minutes there. And as a consequence, I was always late. I was always behind. I was always forgetting something. Well, that's kind of the story of my life anyway. But with a person with ADHD, I struggle with those things every day, but then getting up late exacerbates it. Does not help. Many good coping skills you can develop. Getting up late does not help. So I had a history of not getting up well. And then I became an adult. I begrudgingly had to pay attention to the alarm clock. You got things you got to do. Sometimes there are small bodies next to you urging you to get up. A little harder to ignore than your alarm clock. And so I got up, but I never did develop great morning routines until, I'll say, the last 10 years. I had a job 5 years ago where I had to drive an hour to get to work, which required a very early morning routine. And somehow life changes, we change, perspective change, things we like, things we don't like, they all change. Anyway, things change. And I started to really enjoy the mornings. And I started to really enjoy my routine. And I became very adept at keeping my routine. And that worked out great. And then that early morning, because I had to be on the road at 5 o'clock in order to get to work on time, a.m., really instilled some habits and some thoughts. And so to this day, I am an early riser, and I feel good in the morning. I hate sleeping late, except today. And I've come to be a morning person. I've come to so treasure my morning routine. Um, I work on it all the time. I'm constantly trying to put new things into it and make it a more productive time for me. So, except for today. Today, for whatever reason, could not drag my butt out of bed. Sometimes this is about self-discipline, just saying, I'm going to do it, and you do it. Sometimes it's about self-indulgence. I just don't want to do it, so I didn't. Kind of depends on what the consequences are too, right? If you don't get up and get to your job and you get fired, that's a much bigger consequence than if you don't get up and you don't do your live, that no one will, maybe somebody will miss me, but no real consequences. But the truth is, you can impact, just on a side note, just to go back to like a real show for a second, truly you can impact your entire day with a few little switches in your morning habit. The morning is so important. It's setting you up for the day. It is hard, again, maybe just me, hard to recover from a bad morning. So, you know what they say? Early bird gets the worm. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And so, I'm babbling. But anyway, this is why the morning is important. You don't get a second chance to repeat your morning, right? It's the start of everything. No one's saying you can't recover. I mean, we can all recover from a bad start, but isn't it better to plan a good start no matter what you're doing? Is it a trip? Is it a project? Is it a holiday? Is it a meal? It doesn't matter. Isn't it better to start strong? That's what a good morning is. It's starting strong. So here's some habits that highly successful people, a lot of people have studied. Well, what are the morning habits of successful people? But I study the morning of happy people, right? I could tell you how to be successful if our show here and our advice was all about how to be successful and make a lot of money and have a big powered career. But as you know, the definition of success here is more about your happiness than your bank account. And so we're going to talk about the 10 morning habits. Oh, I'm not sure there's 10. The morning habits of happy people. Okay, so number 1, wake up feeling grateful. Sometimes this is something you have to actually do. It's an exercise. You have to remember to be grateful. I keep a little note next to my bed, so when I wake up, the first thing I see is be grateful. And that's just a reminder to tick off whatever's annoying you in the morning. You don't want to get up. The alarm is really loud. It's so cold in your electric blanket, so warm, and you just want to stay in bed. Right? Feeling grateful of all those things, that warm blanket, that nice bed, your beautiful home, your beautiful life. Well, that makes you able to go, okay, I can get up. I got a lot to be grateful for. I can do it. For me, waking up feeling grateful, just kind of, like I said, start your foot off on the right track before your feet even hit the floor in your bed. You can make a difference by waking up and saying, and you don't have to go through your whole gratitude list. There's so many exercises to gratitude journal and list all the things. Do it simple. So grateful for my blessed life. You know what that means, right? Just get it out there. Throw it out there is the opening salvo of the day. So grateful for my beautiful life. And off they go. Okay, happy people never skimp on breakfast. This is a list I didn't write. I personally am not a big breakfast person. I don't usually eat till afternoon, but I do rely on my morning brew, my morning coffee. It is sometimes grocery store coffee. It is sometimes upgraded for the weekend Kono coffee, having some Kono flavored coffee this morning because I decided to start the weekend on Friday today. But as part of your routine, if you love breakfast, don't skimp. Don't keep yourself from it. If breakfast is important to you, make it a part of your day. Happy people never forget their spiritual connection. I feel a little guilty if I'm up too long before I remember to check in. Good morning, Jesus. Hello, God. How's the day going? So grateful to be alive. So grateful for my blessed life. What are we going to do today? Sometimes you get up and you're kind of focused on life. You're kind of focused on the things you got to do or things that need to be done. And maybe we forget that check-in, that, I don't know, cosmic elbow bump that just says, I got you. You're here. I'm keeping you with me all day. But that check-in for me sets the tone, lets me know I'm not alone. Sets the tone and lets me know I'm not alone. I can rhyme whenever. Anyway, just do a quick prayer in the morning. I thank you for your blessed life. Lord, I'm trusting you to get me through everything I got to get done today. You and me, buddy. Let's take it on. It doesn't have to be formal. For me, it's just a kind of like I said, just a touch point, just waking up, checking in, making sure everything's good before moving on to the gotta get done's, right? Happy people exercise before they start to work. Well, this is something I am going to have to work on because I do not exercise before I do the show in the morning. And that is something I've been planning, wanting, trying, talking about, adding into my morning routine. I like to do just a little simple yoga, just some simple sun salutations in the morning. It's a routine that stretches your body, keeps you limber, keeps you flexible, keeps you moving. I'm not doing weight training here, but I do like to do my yoga in the morning, and I've gotten away from that. So that's why I do this show, right? To remind myself of all the things that I need to do in the morning, and one of them is exercise. You don't have to do anything strenuous. Like I said, just move your body, just some stretching. As you can tell, I did not do mine this morning. I indulged myself late in bed this morning and issued all my more normal morning routines. They plan the good deeds. Happy people plan. What am I going to do today that's happy? What am I going to do to be happy today? What good deed? And we all know happiness comes from serving others. What good deed am I going to do today? Sometimes I think about it. I used to hide little treats in the kids' lunch boxes or a love note. Or make a plan to, after school, have something fun planned that they just did not know anything about. Planning fun, planning good, planning happiness. That way you make sure it's always there. If it's in your plan, then you make sure it's part of your day. They rarely ruminate about the past. Well, that's for sure, right? In the morning, who has time to think regretful thoughts? And regretful thoughts can take up so much of our time. And then it's just a chance for you to revisit hurt and pain and bring that back. And unless you're actively analyzing what happened in order to learn a lesson and make sure it doesn't happen again, there's not a whole lot of benefit of reliving pain, past. Let it go. Get busy on the morning. You got stuff to do. This list is long. You got things you got to do. You got to exercise. You got to have a little meditation. You got to get everything done in the morning. You don't have time for the past. They make happiness a habit. Like I said, I mean we make happiness a habit. We happy people who have happy morning routines. We take time to notice something awesome, or plan something happy, have a happy moment for no reason. They reject the morning distractions. Right. Well, when you have a routine, when you have something that you do every day, it's kind of like it's like a dance routine, right? Think about those beautiful girls out there in gymnastic on the mat when they do the dance routines. Good morning, Joanne. Think about those beautiful girls in the morning on their dance routines, right? They don't stop. Somebody claps or woohoos or something happens in the audience. They don't stop. They do not stop for distractions. The routine is set. So in your morning routine, don't stop for distractions. I mean, sure, everybody got an emergency once in a while, but we make our own distractions. And sometimes it's easy to allow something or permit something or even invite something to be a distraction when we're not that thrilled about the road we're on, or we're not paying attention, or we're just not focused on finishing out the routine. So watch out for those distractions. In the morning, you got routine. You got things you want to get done. And here's the one tip that comes up on everything I read that says how to have a happy morning. The one thing that it says over and over and over again, no matter who you are or what the focus of the study is, other than it's about happy moments in the morning, or a happy routine in the morning to give you a happy day. And that is, do not look at your phone first thing in the morning. You need to give yourself 30 to 60 minutes in the morning before you touch your phone, before you check in with the outside world. You have somebody you got to talk to at 7, well, you're going to need to get up at 6:30 or even earlier, right? It's about not looking at Facebook, not checking the news to see what happened overnight, not checking in with friends to see who liked your posts or who commented. You need to put that aside give your brain time to wake up, right? Transitioning from sleep to awake is a process. Even though we feel like we wake up automatically, and some days you do certainly jerk alert faster than other days. It's a transition. Moving from sleep state to fully awake state is not something that happens in a minute. So respect that and give yourself time, and don't try to jump into those daytime, the day has started activities when you're still in the morning transition. That's the time for meditation, for gratefulness, maybe a little exercise, maybe a shuffle to get the coffee started, right? Those are the times you're just going to enjoy your morning thoughts. Pull your robe a little closer. Prepare to get into the shower. No need to talk on the phone or be on the phone for those few things. In fact, this is the one thing that will make you start the day out more productive, more creative, more happy. And if you can manage it, then you've started out way ahead of most people, because very few people follow that advice, right? Everybody wants to, phone's on the bed next to you, you're done, you grab the phone. Well, no, these days it's this, right? It just shows up the phone. Hello. Anyway, I know I moved my phone. I used to have it on the bed next to on my bedside table, but now I plug it in on the other side of the room. Makes me get up when the alarm goes off. No blue light or EMF banging on my head. And it's much easier to ignore it when I don't see it when I first wake up. It's not in my purview, and I have to actually go, oh, my phone. I guess I better go check and see what's going on with my phone by the time I'm ready to do that. So studies show that so this is about getting up and and getting your day going, right? Like I said, I never used to be a morning person, but in these last 10, 15 years, I have come to truly embrace let's see, what does Joanne say? I aim to not use my phone. I use a timer for meditation. Oh, see, that's a really great idea. You're using a timer because every time we use our phone, that's a great point, Joanne. Every time we use our phone for another purpose, we're more addicted to it. It's more stuck in it's more part of our day-to-day. It's our lives that we can't get away from. I like that, Joanne. I need to get an actual real alarm clock. I think it's a really good idea. Exactly what you're saying. But, touch some. Anyway, studies show that we are the most productive immediately after sleep. I hedge that. We'll see. I didn't read the study. I'm going to say I still think you need the transition period where your brain cobwebs start to go away and you move. I'm not sure we jump up and start doing calculus right away, but it does say that you have a window of 3 hours or so after you wake up when you are most productive. So it's best to knock out your most important tasks, or the things that are toughest for you that day, in the first 3 hours, and then get that other stuff done when you're less productive during the day. I don't know that that's not a bad plan for all the time, right? Just get the important stuff out of the way first, and while you're fresh and eager, and then deal with the other stuff later on. I'll go with that as a good idea anyway, morning or not. But here's some ideas on making some changes to your morning routine. The first one is to start with why. Why do you want to be more productive? What are you trying to accomplish? To remember that when I wake up in the morning, and remember that the reason I get up and sometimes I get up at 4:30, by the way, if I haven't done a good job preparing for my show. 5:30 is I've done a little work ahead of time to get it prepped, but occasionally I don't, and so I get up at 4:30. Anyway, why? What are you working for? I know when my alarm goes off at 5:30, or sometimes I wake up earlier than that, because when you wake up at the same time every day, your body clock starts to wake you up before your alarm actually goes off. And when I wake up at that time, I love my show. I love Brewing Happiness. I love being here every day. I love mining my life for topics. I love trying to find kernels of wisdom in what goes on around me, or going out and learning about something that's mildly interesting, but then I go out and do the research and come back to find out all kinds of fun facts to bring back here to share with you. I love having a cup of coffee and a conversation in the morning, and this is my own personal coffee club, right? So because I love it, I get up. I'm excited. I want to get up. I can't wait to except for today. I can't wait to get in the shower. I'm eager to get to my desk and get my ring light turned on, and get my camera set up, and all those things that I do before turning on the camera, before turning on the live. So what are you working for? What's exciting you today? What makes you think, oh, I'm gotta get up? Oh wait, I get to get up and get going towards it. Knowing your why makes a big difference. It does for me. And then the next thing is, don't make big changes. I found this. I read a lot of blogs. I've done the show before. We've talked about these things before. I've read a lot of blogs on morning habits, what makes you productive in the morning. This is one of the very few ones I found that had this advice, which I love, which is don't make big changes. Start small, incremental. The one suggestion that I thought was a great analogy, just to kind of wrap your head around what this means, is let's say you want to start running. Okay, I've decided I have never been a runner, and I do want to start running. I think I've mentioned before I need to run a marathon before I'm 85. So time's a ticking. I got to get busy. And I've never been a runner, and I want to do this. And so the article I read said, you are not going to get up and run the 100-yard dash tomorrow. It ain't happening. Don't. And the more you think it's going to happen, even if you do it for a day or two, it's not going to create a consistent habit. It takes 66 days, they say, for a new habit to feel natural. And some can take even longer. So as I think about this starting to running, I've never been a runner. In fact, I've been an anti-runner my whole life. I've said to people all the time, if you see me running, you should turn around and run too, because I don't run, and I mean never. So I'm going to add this running routine to my life. So she says, the article I read that said, don't do it quickly. I loved it. She says, first day, just get up a little bit earlier and think about running. The next day, get up and put on your running clothes. Wear them around the house. She says, the next day, get up and put your shoes on. She did this for a week, got up and put the running clothes on for a week, never left the house. I'm like, I love this. By the end of the week, she said, oh, I went out the front door. I walked out my front door, down to my driveway, walked up and down the street a little bit, and came back inside. Again, did that for a while, right? Then you run by 3 houses, come back. Next day, run by 4 houses. The next day, run by 5 houses. This is my plan. I'm going to be starting it soon. I'll let you know how it goes. I like this idea of this incremental, right? This incremental baby steps, where the first few steps, you're just trying on new clothes. You're just trying on a new idea to see how does that fit, right? And then stay consistent. Then you got to do it. You can't do it once and around it. Build slowly. That's right. And that's what I'm finding is anything I've tried to hurl into my life or say, oh, I'm going to start this incredible journey tomorrow by doing it all, doesn't work. It doesn't work. Build it slowly and consistently. Then you got to do it every day, right? Then you got to do a little bit of something for it every day. Be committed. See it as a process and a progress, not just a random, I'm going to every once in a while put on some running clothes and then say that I'm trying to start running, right? But consistently every day and growing it, building it slowly every day. And then to have balance in the morning, you need to address a couple different areas, right? You're getting ready for work or you're getting ready for a task, but you also have to think about, what do we got? We got mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Those are all areas that probably want to be addressed in the morning, right? So what are you going to do? Maybe you're going to spend 15 minutes reading, addressing your mental needs. You're going to spend 15 minutes meditating, your spiritual needs. You're going to jog for 15 minutes or exercise or do your sun salutations, right? That's your physical. And then eat a healthy breakfast. And maybe then when you finally do get on your phone, you connect with an old friend or you reach out and check on somebody. You're emotional, right? Something to touch all the areas of your life and see a balance, because we can't really just focus on the physical. Okay, I'm going to get healthy, but then I'm going to stop doing everything else. Or I'm going to get successful, but I don't have time for any of that other stuff, right? Read, meditate, connect, jog, cover the bases. Leave some time. Leave some time in your schedule. You don't schedule yourself from 7 to 7:10. I'm going to do this. From 7:10 to 7:20. I'm going to do this. Leave yourself a few minutes between activities to go to the bathroom and take a break and drink some coffee. School bell rings at on the 11:50 of the hour, not on the hour, right? Got to get time to get between classes. Got to have time to move between activities. So the final thing is plan. Plan your morning. Think about it often. It is your plan. It's your plan. Think about it the night before. Lay out your running clothes. You're going to start to plan on new running. Lay out your running clothes. Now you're thinking about it. It's in your head. When you wake up, you're like, oh, I had this idea. I've sort of made a commitment. Plan. Put your alarm across the room so you're up. Lay out your clothes the night before. Don't touch your phone for the first 30 to 60 minutes. And schedule a morning that leaves plenty of time to get it all done without leaving you rushed, frustrated, or feeling like it's just one more scheduled thing you got to get done, right? The morning routine is there to help you. Okay, so I'm really amazed here. It's 28 minutes here on the clock. I've talked on a non-topic when I didn't know what I was going to talk about until I got up this morning and realized that was my topic. Dragging my ass out of bed this morning was not normal for me. I don't normally sleep late and in my mental head start ticking off what can I not do this morning to still make my deadline. So thank you, Joanne. Thank you. I think this was such good advice for me. I think I'm really good at my morning routine, except for today, except for some days when I'm not. And this was one of the days that I'm not. So, so happy for having this show today, because what it's done for me is, instead of like walking around all day beating myself up, because I did step away from my routine. I did have a little bit of struggle this morning. I say, oh, that's right. Here's some things to get me back on track. I know I can do it. I've done it before. You know you can do it. We've done it before. All right. Wonderful. Fabulous Friday. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you all Monday, bright and early, 7 a.m. Back to the get her done routine that I love. Make it a happy day.